Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world's #1 sports and recreation podcast, Cheap Heat. I'm your forever 24/7 champion and current Similac champion, Peter Rosenberg, feeding a baby and podcasting. Oh, no. I got excited. Sorry, let me do a better job. Sorry, little baby. And coming to you from Philadelphia, it's the physically large Statguy, Greg.
She had to let you know that she's actually the Similac champion. She's the one that's making Similac tap out right now. Not you. You the wise man to the Similac tribal chief. Don't ever get that twisted.
Oh, what is it, little baby? We're good. We're good. By the way, Dip, the fits that she throws when she can't get the food like the way that she wants it, you really remember that she's essentially like an old Jewish man in a deli. She starts screaming and shaking. Her face gets red. It's like how I feel when they run out of pickles at the Parkway Deli Pickle Bar. It's not right. Coming to you from Los Angeles, it's 37 at 35.
Is the baby sending back milk and sending back things to the kitchen? Yet, that's what I want to know.
Does she send back milk and say, "Ugh, this is not right"?
Yeah, Is the baby already sending things back?
Like, warm this up, for God's sake.
Yeah, but this breast milk is cold. I can't drink cold breast milk.
Honestly, I feel that. What is he supposed to do with that?
I know. It's the, or like Dip, are the eggs cooked even a little bit? If they're not squawking, he's sending them back.
I mean, I could see the baby calling over the manager and saying, "Listen,
let's have a conversation. Warm the breast
milk, okay? I'm not using Monopoly money to pay for this breast milk."
So real quick before Natalie gets back home, I do want to say, such a sincere and I can't emphasize it enough, the gratitude to the Cheap Heat universe for the love on Rocky. I keep getting emails, I keep getting messages. Yet again, I'm reminded that of all the different people I talk to, there's nobody like the Peckerheads. I mean, the best. I have great people at all of the things I do, but the Peckerheads, I planned on doing last week's podcast, and we were like going back and forth about when to do it. And it was literally reading the Discord and seeing enough messages of people going, "Dude, don't do the podcast this week. Like, come back next week. It's a big deal. Chill." And I was like, you know what? These people are right, and I appreciate them telling me that. And just all the messages were like incredibly sweet, and I'll always be sort of torn up by that last Jey Uso interview we did, SGG, when Rocky walks into the screen like 12 minutes in. He just like came and posted up. You weren't here, Dip, but Rocky just came and posted up in the screen for like a couple of minutes, and that'll be his last appearance on Cheap Heat. But everyone's so sweet and so understanding, and we have so many dog lovers. And as Dip knows very well, we've spoken quite a bit. It's bad. It's really quite bad. The difference between knowing a human who pretty well and they die, and a dog who's a part of your family, I'm sorry to say, for humans, you're not even close. I mean, I'm just being honest. I guess I just didn't. I should have. You want me to burp you, baby?
I don't think this baby liked John Cena's promo last night.
Oh, well, don't worry. She has. By the way, this is John Cena's promo.
Literally.
But anyways, we'll get to that. Yeah, but I always knew it would be a really tough thing. I didn't really appreciate that the level to which it's like when people generically go, "Oh, it's a family member." I always thought of that being as like a very generic thing to say.
But now it's accurate.
I realized, like, oh no, it really is, because it's not the same as losing a friend. It's the same as losing a family member. Friends die, and you're sad about it for sure, and you call your other friends and you go, "Oh my God, can you believe so and so died?" Unless they're like your best friend, you kind of move on. It's I'm sad to say. But anyways, love you guys so much. I'm going to try to handle this baby. I know you guys are chomping at the bit to talk about Cena's promo. I was not a fan. I hate to say it. I was so excited for this moment, and I was a bit let down with the path they decided to go down. I'm not saying it can't change. I'm not saying it can't play out and get good. But and I'll let you guys both get your ish in, but for me, him going the like traditional basic heel, you never appreciated me, blah, blah, blah. It makes no reference to the way he looked, The Rock's involvement. It just was like, it was heel 101. And like, listen, it can still turn out fine because he's very good. Like I loved his blank stare when he came out. I loved his look when he walked back. He did just fine in the promo. His delivery was just fine. But I don't know, Dip. It for me, I was hoping for much, much more. Your face is saying a lot, but to those listening, Dip, I'll let you get the first word. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a total letdown for me. Unfortunately, it was like I wanted to like rush home to watch it, and then you put it on, and it's like I don't know. I don't need him to necessarily dress differently. It would have maybe they have a plan for this, but it would have been nice to have seen him in black and white or like dressed in a different way. I don't need he addressed having no new music, which is fine. I'm okay with it evolving, to maybe something different, but. He said the same thing 10 times. He was like, I'm angry with the fans. You never loved me. I mean, dude, he's been the top baby face in wrestling for 20 years at this point.
It rings hollow.
Yeah,
it rings
overnight, he decides that the fans never loved him and that this and that or whatever. This would have been the promo to do if he turned heel 10, 15 years ago. But he should have came out there and he should have said, Cody Rhodes is no John Cena. If you think Cody Rhodes is the next John Cena, you're wrong, and here's why. And it should have been like a corporate sort of, I'm with The Rock for this reason, and Cody Rhodes isn't your babyface for this reason, and it should have been selling the angle. And instead, he just came out and said, like, it just seemed fake and sort of canned. And, I think there was a lot of piped in sound. The crowd was nuts for sure, but there was a lot of piped in sound last night in general. But it was like, it just sort of, I don't know, it was rambling and too long. It was like 19 minutes I counted of like him saying basically the exact same thing in the ring. And then finally Cody comes out and saves it. But it just, I don't know. It could have been like a Attitude Era sort of all encompassing, put all the pieces together and stuff, and it was just like wow, a big bore. Greg?
So not surprisingly, I disagree with everything Dip said. As I have with Dip and John Cena this whole entire year, when I told Dip that Cena turned heel at the Rumble, and when I told Dip that Cena was going to be linking up with The Rock and taking him up on that offer, I think actually that this promo, it was perfect because of everything Dip said. I viewed it just very differently. Like even the fact that when he came out and said, I'm not a baby face, I'm not a heel, I'm a human being, that actually reminded me of your interview with Cena.
I hated that.
Way back,
I hate that.
way
You
back,
like when they break kayfabe like that?
I like when I'm able to speak and not be interrupted as I
you're so interruptible.
As I did for you. I like when I'm able to do that. I like when I'm able to do that. But it reminded me, P, of your interview with him. You posted a clip. I don't know how long ago this was, but you asked him when he was going to turn heel. And even back then, he said, I'm a baby face to people who like me, and I'm a heel to people who don't like me. So I don't need to do anything but be myself. And then yesterday he did the same thing. He came out, he was himself, his same clothes, his same music, and he just refused to sort of pander to the fans. I loved when he pointed out that kid that was wearing the same exact outfit that he had, and the disappointment that was washed over that kid's face when John Cena said, yeah, even you, kid, in that outfit, I'm breaking up with you too. I'm leaving you behind because this is all about me and my goals and what I want to do for the future. I thought that was perfect. I didn't think it needed to reference The Rock. And he did actually reference Cody Rhodes when he said, you guys already moved on to your new shiny toy. So not only have you abused me for the past 10 years with this split reaction, but you thought you were going to move on from me. So before you can hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. And I love that they didn't touch. I love that Cody just kept it verbal. They got, 4 more weeks until WrestleMania. Plenty of time to pick this up. But I love that right now, it's it didn't go from 0 to 100 because they got the shock moment. So I love that they brought it back down, and I'm excited to see them build it up again until we get to that crescendo of night 2 at WrestleMania. Because let's face it, that's where this match is headed. It's going to be the main event of night 2, and I'm excited to see what they do between now and then to get there, and then what they do with that moment.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I know.
I don't know. I mean, it could have been so much better. I maybe they couldn't get The Rock in the same place as John Cena this week or last week or the week after, but it would have been so much more effective if he came out in a suit with The Rock, or he came out in some other. I mean, they just didn't really spend too much time thinking about what he was going to do out there. He just sort of
I think the heel.
They didn't.
You guys
complained
complained about heel 101.
Thinking about
you
this.
complained about heel 101, but him in a suit is for sure heel 101
For sure. That's a fair point.
Yeah, but that'd be more him in the suit with that promo is more heel 101 than what we got yesterday.
That's fair.
I am gonna continue to do what I've been doing. That's my voice on the song. I'm not changing a thing. I'm leaving you all behind.
I didn't like it. It didn't work.
Listen, I think SGG made some compelling points. I do. And I hear what you're saying in terms of like, yeah, that would have been even more heel 101. That's fair. I also agree with Dip's point, though, that it was meandering and repetitive. It did not seem to have he didn't need 19 minutes for what he did. That's for sure. It was covered within 5 minutes or so.
You can sprinkle in.
Still hope.
Sprinkle in that you've turned on the fans and that the fans always hated me, but it should have been focused on the storyline. The story should have been, why have I teamed up with The Rock? Why are me and The Rock aligned? I mean, their hatred for Cody Rhodes, I guess, but I need some sort of compelling reason why he and The Rock are aligned.
Why give that out? This is a weekly episodic show. We're building up to WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. I think they have, I don't know how many days, but it's weeks. Why give all of that in the first appearance that they have?
Because we're waiting with bated breath for the next appearance of John Cena for him to give us an explanation. And his explanation was, you guys always hated me? I mean, come on, dude. That's 25 years of we've been waiting for this to happen. And his explanation is, because you were always mean to me and you never appreciated me. I mean, come on. There was no thought that went into this. This week.
I disagree.
No, that's the one part. Let me just say this part, SGG. I do think. Oh, Nat, here's the burp cloth. If you want,
it could get great. I don't know, but
it could. But I do agree. I was thinking the whole time when he kept going, it's been 20 years and you never did anything for me. I'm like, but they bought all your merch and made you rich.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was no point to it.
And also, why? Okay, the people who booed you, okay, but the people who've cheered you the whole time, the people who've been buying your merch the whole time, I don't understand why. What did they do?
And why did that result? Okay, and why did that result in beating up Cody Rhodes? Because he wants to beat up their new shiny toy? Like, that's not enough of an explanation. Give me a story, and maybe it'll come out. Maybe more will be revealed, and I trust that it will. But this week, it just was like everyone was dying to see what he would say, and what he said was, "You guys don't like me." I mean, who cares?
What he did was establish himself. Because what do we say about the heels all the time, right? We said it with Kevin Owens, with Roman Reigns, like these huge heels that they have with Gunther. They have a principle, and that principle that they hold on to is grounded in a nugget of truth. But the way that the lens that they view it through and how they shine it back on and reflect it in the wrestling is what makes them bad guy. And I think that was John Cena's nugget of truth that he, quite frankly, needed as a heel to be effective, that the crowds have been split on him, that they have booed him, and that they didn't appreciate him until he's gone. And now that he decided he's going to be back, he's going to dump them because they don't get to go on this farewell tour with him. I think he needed
SG,
that.
If he had done that, if just like, I'm going to give you a little nugget where it could have been so much better. I hear what you're saying. When they're going, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. I would love if he went, you hear that? You hear that? That specific thing. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. All I've ever heard is Cena sucks. Why was I never enough for you? Why couldn't I have been Hulk Hogan? Why couldn't I have been Cody Rhodes? Why? He just didn't quite, like, you're almost making his promo better than he did. Like, he didn't take the pieces and tie it up in a way that I think you go, okay, I get it. I kind of was walking around going, I still don't hear what part you're mad about from them. I think there was, can you just acknowledge, or maybe you disagree, you don't think there was any opportunities for him to tie it up and make it a little bit tighter? It just wasn't very tight to me.
I do disagree then. I thought he pulled in all the pieces pretty well. But maybe that's just me being hooked from the get-go of him just coming out and giving us that moment. Maybe they just had me and
I was so excited. I was at work. I was trying to figure out how to watch it at work. I was like desperate to get to it. And then I got home and I sat down with Natalie and I was like, hey, and you know, she hasn't been super into watching much these days. I'm like, come on. I was like, you want to watch John Cena's promo? She's like, okay. And then we watched it and we're like watching and I'm like, okay. Just didn't hit me with the hand.
I was like ready for it to end already. I'm like, all right. Enough is enough already.
I was waiting for Cody to. I think the best part of the entire promo was Cody calling him a whiny bitch and chucking the mic.
That was the best part by far.
That was, you know, and by the way, now, Cody, you know, I love you. You got an F yourself and a whiny B. You're out of curses for a while, my guy.
No, I think he needs to keep this going. I think
he dropped a couple of it. Well, no, it's just going to lose its at some point.
True.
You know, once I didn't think anything could surprise me after the go F yourself. But that's the thing. They rarely use bitch the right way. It often gets thrown around in these loose ways that are like it's so ineffective. The way he did whiny bitch to Cena with the mic chuck, that was an impactful way to use the B word, if you're going to use it, I thought. But
also, Greg,
listen,
you only have 4 weeks. So WrestleMania is 1 month from tomorrow.
That's plenty of time. That's a lifetime.
Is Cena on TV every week?
I doubt it. He's shooting a movie right now.
I know, but they're in Europe.
I bet you get him one more time before Mania. That's my guess.
No, I think more than that because aren't they in Europe?
Maybe twice. You're not going to get him for 4 weeks in a row.
That's fine.
I don't know. You may be wrong about that.
I don't think.
I'd be great. I'd love to see him every week. I'd love to see him every week.
I don't think they need him.
You don't think they need him?
They absolutely need him
for 4 weeks in a row
to tell the story about him turning heel with The Rock and Cody Rhodes to build up to the WrestleMania main event.
Cody didn't even care about the fact that he joined The Rock. Cody confronted Cena, and all he cared about was the fact that the person that he looked in front of him, that he saw in front of him,
which is also stupid.
Was it the hustle, loyalty, respect Cena? It was that the fact that the person that he saw in front of him was so different that he has no respect for him. Cody didn't even care about why he joined The Rock. And like I said, maybe they'll get to it later, but I don't think that that's the big piece. I think that the piece that we got so far of like Cena's attitude change, his attitude adjustment, if you will, I think that's the big piece.
I don't know. It just...
I'm trying to find the full schedule. Okay, here's the schedule for the next 3.
It just didn't work for me, unfortunately. I wish it did, but I can't.
March 17th, we saw next week is a European episode at 4 p.m. The following week, the 31st, is a 3 o'clock episode.
Where's that one from? Is that London?
I'm not seeing. I can't seem to see the schedule. I'm trying to find the damn schedule. But we do have like 4 or 5.
What are you looking for?
So.
I'm just looking for the Raw schedule. It's so hard to look up a damn schedule for anything these days.
The 17th was Brussels.
Yep.
SmackDown in Bologna, Italy.
Okay.
It's Friday, and then Glasgow, Scotland is the Monday.
Okay.
SmackDown from London, and then Raw, March 31st.
Also London?
Also London.
And then what's after that? Are they back home after that?
I think they're back home after that because I'm not seeing anything.
April 7th, Target Center, Minneapolis.
Oh,
April 14th, Sacramento.
And then we're off to the races.
We gotta, moving off of the John Cena thing, the chants that these Europeans do. I assume they're soccer chants.
You'll be
yes.
correct.
Okay. I love the way they fit the names into the chants. You know, Peter Rosenberg, Statguy Greg.
So how have you generally felt about the European? Are you into the European crowds or annoyed?
I mean, it's annoying for sure. But they go into business for themselves, but it is nice to see that people all around the world love wrestling and think it's great. That's my favorite part of it. That's what I like to see. And we agree with them. We also love wrestling and think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is true. It's a unifying.
It's unifying to hear. It's unifying. I don't mind it. I mean, I get it. Sorry. Like, how many Seth Rollins what went on last night? It's got to be 50. It was endless. And then
that lends itself to the style of chanting over there anyway.
Yeah.
Like Seth's thing already sounds like
sing
a
along.
soccer chant.
Yeah.
And then what else? Io Sky, she is over like a rover in Belgium. That was crazy. They basically turned Bianca Belair heel last night.
Listen, first of all, somebody has to be. So yeah, I hate that it had to be Bianca, but if they're gonna have Rhea be a part of this, somebody had to be the bad guy.
It is interesting now. So Rhea, of course, just threw her name on the contract that she's not on,
which is not at all how contracts work.
Was thinking about that at all.
I've never seen. Yeah. I've never seen a contract work that way where you can just add your name and now you're a part of the thing. But we've seen things like that before.
We have.
Very comparable, at least. I just want to understand what the logic here was. Did they just think Io is mage and they want her to be involved?
I think I think they respect her as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And so do I.
Mm-hmm.
And so do I. But I just felt like on a card that doesn't have tons of massive stuff so far, right? We have one massive thing, another big thing. I kind of thought Rhea Bianca on the poster was just smart business this year. I'm really surprised. Don't get me wrong, it'll still be great.
She must be putting the work in. Io Sky must be putting the work in, and they're sort of letting her grab that brass ring if they want to. That's my gauge of it. It's she's really takes risks. She's a great wrestler. I'm not Mr. Io Sky, but I'm just saying that must be what's happening here. It's she's put the time in and the work in, and she's a great wrestler, and she's over clearly in Europe, and they're giving her a day in court at Mania. I think she'll lose the title to Rhea at Mania. I think Rhea takes it back.
I think she retains.
You think she retains?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like
okay. Maybe she does. Maybe she's got the momentum. Maybe you're right.
I mean, Bianca's undefeated at Mania, and she ain't no slouch either. But I still I think Io. I think they make her because she is huge, right? She's great in the ring. Her style is completely different from Bianca and Rhea, and I think to get her on that level, I don't want to use the word sacrifice, but I think her walking in and walking out with the win over the two women who are undoubtedly the future of the company in terms of the women's division, and maybe even in terms of the company period, giving her the win over them is a great investment in Io Sky, even more than just a vote of confidence.
I heard everything that you both just said. It doesn't change my point. Dip gave me a whole lovely spiel about why. I hear you. And it may turn out awesome. But in terms of a marquee event, when you add someone to a singles match where these two people go together in a way, Rhea and Bianca go together. They are the two faces of they're the two newest faces of the division for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've never had a heads up at WrestleMania.
Is that true? I
Like,
guess not.
yes, they've never had it. So, like, I still find it respect to EO. I'm not mad about it. It'll be a great match. I think EO's dope. But it doesn't change what I'm saying, that is less mage on the marquee than it was just the two.
You're
of them.
right.
I'm sorry.
You're right. You're not
the
wrong.
two of them staring at each other is more mage.
So let me ask you this.
But only if Bianca. Hold on. Sorry, HG. One thing.
Yeah.
If Bianca Belair turns into like mega heel Bianca Belair, then it's meaningful. If it's baby Bianca Belair versus baby Rhea, it's not that meaningful. That's my take on that.
Yeah, one of them would have to be mega heel for it to be. I'm with Dip if they do Bianca Rhea one-on-one.
I guess.
Something
I guess
needs to be done about Bianca.
It would still be meaningful to have the two of them have a singles match at WrestleMania. I maintain
guess,
that. They're the two
Bianca's
best young stars
I
in the
gotta
company.
say it. Bianca's boring right now. Bianca's boring. She's
unbelievable.
She is.
Yeah. See,
I'm a huge fan.
Nah,
I'm a fan.
Now here's the part where we have to cut you off. You said what you said. She's boring. That's an absurd take.
Why?
Absurd.
Why?
Take.
Why
is it absurd?
Bianca.
What does she have going on right now that's interesting to you?
The who shot Jade mystery that was
it's
unveiled
over.
with her.
It's over
with her and Naomi.
I don't. Now I disagree with you.
That's definitely not over.
It's not over between Naomi and Jade. I don't think Bianca has anything.
No,
to
Bianca
do with
is absolutely going to be back in that orbit.
I hope so.
She's absolutely going to be back in that orbit. And her segment with Naomi, where Naomi revealed that she was the quote unquote killer, or at least attempted murderer, attacking Jade from behind and push her under the car. That was a mage segment, not boring at all. That was dare I say, that was the SmackDown cinema that we haven't got in a while. Yes, that was Naomi's best promo by far. The range that Naomi gave us in that promo, I did not think she had, and that emotion that Bianca gave it, grounded it. That was cinema. That was cinema. Right from the beginning to the end, that was cinema.
I
slightly lofty.
I completely disagree with the sentiment around this story. To me, Jade goes down, and she comes back to attack at Elimination Chamber. She comes back and attacks Naomi. Then Naomi just admits it the next week. They should have played that out for the next 4 weeks, and it should have been a whole mystery, and they should have had the CCTV footage and the whole thing, and they should have played it out as a big mystery, and instead they just blew it the moment that she comes back that next night after the pay-per-view. I don't think it was good at all.
There's more coming, and that promo,
I hope so.
That promo I thought was masterful.
It was not masterful.
We're just gonna have
it was rushed. It was rushed.
I mean, did you watch MVP with MJF the other day, SGG?
I did not.
I don't know if you're a judge on masterful. You got to watch the whole canon, my friend, of people on the microphone. I mean, it was good. I thought Naomi was really good. I think she did show things she hasn't shown, but I think I'm splitting the difference between you guys. Like, if nothing happens with Bianca and the Jade thing, if Dip is right about that, that is boring and disappointing. She has to be a part of that. If she just ends up getting lifted from it, which I don't think will happen, but the fact that she now is in the throes of a thing with Io and Rhea sort of makes me think he could be right.
They're not putting her back in that. It's over.
That would be wildly disappointing. I assumed as of last Monday that Bianca was on the verge of just outright admitting she was in on it with Naomi, and their whole thing together was a work in the ring.
That would have been great.
That is something. That's what we need.
I don't think Bianca's out of it, and here's why, right? Because this edge that she's shown and her going towards the dark side, so to speak, her being more heelish, it started because of how people were treating her in the wake of the Jade thing and saying, you could be involved. You moved on too fast. You picked up Naomi. How could you not know that Naomi did this? Did you even care about Jade? That chip that she has on her shoulder came from the Jade story, and it's still there. And I think that until they put a bow on that, she's not completely done. Yes, Jade is laser focused on Naomi right now because she's the one who attacked her. But I don't think that Jade is done with Naomi, even though she has this match with Liv. And I don't think she's done with Bianca either, because she also has a bone to pick with Bianca for just replacing her, what she felt was too fast.
Okay. What if she is, Greg? Then what? What if she is? What if Bianca is out of that story and you just get the blow off between Jade and Naomi and that's that? What then?
That's not gonna happen.
What if it does?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
And if it does, I will do what you do all the time when you're faced with a prediction from Greg the Oracle. Like when I said that Jey Uso was going to have
I
a
hope
short
you're
heel
right.
run and beat Braun, or when I said that Cena was going to turn heel.
Let's talk about that now.
Or when you said that Nikki ASH was better than Rhea Ripley.
That
Keep going.
on the mic she was that night. We can pull up that
Watching
promo.
wrestling in an empty arena is better than watching it with a crowd.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Everyone hates
Everyone thinks that.
Listen, we got moments. We got moments in the Thunderdome that we would have never got.
Oh, big moments in the Thunderdome. Oh yeah, big.
We would have
never
got it in the crowd. But yeah, I'm still Greg the Oracle no matter what happens with Bianca. And
so
let's talk about the IC title picture. Okay,
shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
What the hell are they doing with Jimmy Uso? I mean, Gewalt. He is just.
Can I tell you something?
He's a schmegegger. He's a nothing. What
Jimmy
is this?
Uso's not in the IC title picture.
What is it?
It's kind of championship is on Raw.
So whatever the hell it is, I can't keep track of all the titles. There's 10,000 titles. What was?
There's titles. Title here. Title there.
What title is it?
You mean the U.S.
U.S. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
The mid-card title on SmackDown. Yeah. There you go.
I mean,
so you feel that Jimmy's getting treated like a schmegegger?
Oh my God, yes. I think here's what I would. This is what I dream of happening. Okay, maybe this will happen at SummerSlam. It won't. Gunther should have lost the title a long time ago to Jimmy Uso or something. Or he should have lost it at Elimination Chamber or something. Okay,
to Jey Uso.
To Jey.
You got to get your Usos right if you're going to do this.
It should Jey and Jimmy at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. That's what we should be doing right now. Jimmy is the perfect heel. He's jealous of his brother. He should be whatever. It should be, that is like an interesting storyline. This Gunther Jey Uso thing is a nothing.
I want to get behind this take, but you mixing up Jimmy and Jey and then saying WWE title when Gunther has the world title.
Greg, who gives a shit what the names of the titles are? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, the Shmegegi title and the
you know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Okay, it's early here still. Okay, I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning. Okay.
You believe that Jimmy being in the middle of things with LA Knight and Braun Strowman is not the place for him to be?
Absolutely not. No, I don't know what it is. He's in Schmagoogiville over there. I mean, doing like U.S. title shit. It should be Jey and Jimmy for the in the main event at WrestleMania in some big stip title match rather than Gunther and whatever. It's all good. I like Gunther. I'm a Gunther guy. I'm a Gunther guy. But I mean, there isn't a wrestling fan on earth that is not like, all right, why do these two dislike each other? What story are we telling here between Gunther and Jey? It's just that Jey is so over and Gunther is like angry he's not as over. That's the story.
That's
kind of.
Okay.
I have heard there are people. I definitely think Dip is tapping into a real feeling that people have about the lack of juice around the Gunther Jey Uso of it all.
Yeah, I mean
that is a thought that exists for sure. I mean, I kind of don't agree with it all the way. Like, I have some care for it, but I won't lie to you. If this whole thing had been done the right way, Jimmy and Jey getting the right moment when Jey was as hot as he'd ever been. Like, imagine Jey if like 2 months ago when Jey was just absolutely scorching on fire, there'd been a moment where he got like completely wiped out and we found out that Jimmy was the guy with the most obvious jealousy story of all time.
Yes.
Dip is not wrong. That lead to Mania would have been fire.
So,
and the two of them on the poster would have been fire.
The problem with that is
there is no problem with that. Wouldn't you want to see that?
The problem with that is how do they get there? Right? Because
tell a story. I don't care. How do they get there? He's jealous of his brother.
God damn, Dip, can I get a word out? Can I please get a word? I know you like the sound of your own voice.
It's a beautiful voice.
It is.
I love my voice.
It's top 5. It's top 5. But the mic has to get passed around for this to be a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, Dip and SGG has to make up a reason why this wouldn't be good because he's having one of those days today.
I didn't say
it. No, you are in a shoot down. You are shoot down everything GG today.
I didn't say it wasn't going to be good. I like the idea of Jimmy and Jey, but my question is, how do they get there in this time frame for this Mania? Because they did the jealousy thing and they made up. They hugged. They reunited. So is he jealous again? I feel like they missed the moment to do the he's so jealous of Jay and this moment last year because there wasn't a belt attached to it. There was no title. If they would have gotten a title off of Seth, I feel like there's no way to. It's a great story, but they did it. They did it and they used it, and it just
sucked.
didn't have.
They
the
admitted that it wasn't good.
Yeah, you run it back.
It did suck, but how do we get to that point where he's jealous of him again? And
I don't think the first
I feel
story
like
was
the
story.
only way to make it work is not the jealousy angle. It's that they do reunite. Jay wins the title from Gunther when he had a previous opportunity way back when, and then maybe Jimmy wins the Rumble, and it's a mutual respect angle that they play instead of a jealousy. But I think the jealousy thing is done. They did it.
What I mean, he could be convinced to join up with the new bloodline.
No, not that he's. Why would he be convinced to join with the new bloodline?
I'm just why not? Why are you making it so hard to come up with a story for Jimmy? But all Cena had to do was randomly go, "You guys haven't liked me for 20 years," and you accept it. I mean, that was a complete nonsensical thing Cena did. You went with it. Why couldn't Jimmy go?
It was rooted in truth, and Jimmy's jealousy
okay. And I was always, but yeah, exactly. All Jimmy has to say is, "Hey, we made up the first time. I was lying. You know what? I thought I was going to give you a chance. I thought you weren't going to be that guy, but guess what? You are that guy. Now you think you're the man. Talking. You don't want to ride, but that's easy. That took me 20. That's a 35 seconds to get something. That probably would have had more juice. It's going to be interesting too because I think a lot of people feel like Gunther has to win.
No, I don't think so. If people feel like
if this was the point, if the point was to make him unbeatable, then don't you build up this baby face that everyone wants to win and still have him lose? Isn't that the thing to do with Gunther?
Kind of,
yeah. I mean,
kind of the thing to do.
I feel like they did that too, though. They did that with Cody.
It does feel like they did.
They did that.
I don't disagree, but that's why I think they're sort of between a rock and a hard place.
I'm going to run it back to the beginning of that conversation because something just popped in my mind.
Here we go.
Then you have Solo and you have Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga coming out in some other which mid-level title are they talking about going for?
That's US.
Also.
Okay. Yeah. Also the US. Why don't we have the Bloodline versus John Cena? Why isn't the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes? Why isn't John Cena just joining the Bloodline? Why don't we have all these people just involved? We have the final boss, you have Roman Reigns, you have Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, who's the hottest thing ever. You have Tama Tonga, you have Jimmy Uso, you have they're all mega heels. Why aren't they just all associated with The Rock against and then against Cody Rhodes, and then John Cena joins the Bloodline? I mean, how sick would that be?
So you're gonna have 9 different megastars against Cody?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. Everyone hated Hulk Hogan back in the day.
I did tip. Now you took a step.
I know he's super.
Hold on. No, but also you sat here and said enough with Cody and the Bloodline. We got to get Cody away from the Bloodline.
And I agreed.
I feel like there's so many cool things they could be doing right now with
you just went too far. There could have been a thing. You just went too far. Roman's done. You can't have Roman with them now. That's moved
I wish he still was.
But okay, fine. But he's not. What you could do, I always thought that we never ended up getting Rock being the head of the new Bloodline.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now
it should be
Rock,
corporate ministry size. The Bloodline is enormous, and it should be all under The Rock. That's what should be happening.
The Rock with Solo, Jacob, Tama Tonga, and Cena. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
But then I'd keep away the Usos and Roman. They're now the good Bloodline. They're away from that. You can't just add them all back in now.
I like to see them all back together.
Dip, I'm Stip. See, this is what made you a WCW fan. You're talking is craziness. I put 30 of them, 40 of them.
And then you got the new guy coming. You got Zilla Fatu coming too.
Oh yeah, Zilla's gonna show up
Isn't
now.
There a tall Tongan one brother? Like, don't the Tongans have a brother too? That's supposedly.
There's another one.
Taller Tonga.
I don't know that's what I need. Taller Tonga. That's very good.
I don't know. I like a big stable versus one person.
This is when you go crazy, though.
I'm not going crazy. This is not crazy.
This is why I see Rob Fee. When I bump into Rob Fee, he'll go, "You will not believe the bullshit Dip was telling me yesterday." And he'll go, "Dip was telling me I need to do this and this," and Dip just goes. He'll start off in a path where he makes sense.
I don't give Rob Fee ideas. He doesn't want my ideas.
And then you go, and then it was a long time ago, but it's still. But I knew it was right. It was you complaining about someone's gear of some sort.
Mhm.
The most important thing that was going
They need
on
good
was
gear.
like,
I like
why are they wearing yellow?
If it was the gear, I might have to agree with Dip because there's some wild gear choices being made.
No, it's.
I don't.
true.
Okay. But okay. Look, let's go back to the Jimmy Uso thing or whatever. Like, I don't. I guess they have to put everyone like against like any mid carder against each other right now to like do the Mania Schmaz match. I guess that's what's happening.
I get no, but I hear you. I'm not a big fan.
Why is
of
Jimmy
Solo
out
being
there?
over there?
Why is Solo
No,
over there? Why is everyone over
By the way,
there? Why is Jacob
over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's a little respectfully, it's a little schmageggish. By the way, you know what else it reminds me of? Man, I miss Money in the Bank at Mania.
Yeah.
They're always trying to find a thing to do with these guys.
Totally.
Give me 8 of them in Money in the Bank. I don't need the pay-per-view.
Let me tell you now.
Put them in the match right now.
I'm gonna give one more criticism for the week, and then I'm gonna wrap it up with something positive. Okay, because I have to go.
Oh, look at us.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I don't need to see Finn Balor in a bucket hat and like his gym outfit rolling a suitcase. Okay. He's an evil demon. Okay. I don't need to see
Natalie
these
Natalie
people
literally
like
said to me, "Will you ask him where his hat is from?"
I don't need to see
She
these
loved that.
people like this. To me, Finn Balor doesn't even have luggage. He's from hell. He's from a different planet. Come on. I don't need to see him rolling his luggage. Okay. Also,
All
the
right.
Judgment Day. What's going on here? Now Dom is like, what the hell's with Dom now? Dom is not. He's just a guy. He was scorching hot 6 months ago, and now he's just getting yelled at. And then Carlito is telling him he doesn't even watch WWE. That was
hilarious.
That was bizarre. It was very strange.
I thought it was very funny though. Do you watch? You don't watch Netflix?
Watch the show?
It would have been funnier if he said, "Don't you watch Netflix?"
You know, he did.
Yeah.
He said, "You don't
Netflix.
watch the show." He said, "Don't you?"
No, I swear he said Netflix.
Oh,
I swear.
okay.
Yeah, I think he got in a Netflix pop. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. But here's what I'm going to say in summation for all of the shit that I talked this week.
Okay.
Everybody is over. It feels great in general. Every single person that comes out of that curtain feels over, like Rover, has their own chance, their own gimmick. Everything feels really good right now in general. We're nitpicking the specific things and we're not thrilled with the promo and this and that. But as far as like a lead into Mania, this feels like the most meaningful lead into Mania in the last 5 years, including last year, I would say.
Well, that's very interesting because I would say it's so far the lightest card probably at this time. So
Cena
that is
Cody,
exciting.
gigantic match. That is about as big a match as you could possibly book, with The Rock in the corner of Cena. Massive.
It's probably I don't want to offend SUG. It's probably bigger than Roman Cody.
It's definitely bigger than Roman Cody.
It's like the biggest.
The only other match that they could do that's bigger
Roman Cody 3 or like the Roman Cody from WrestleMania Hollywood.
What we've gotten so far.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
This is the biggest
Cody. Cena
That's the goal, though, to get bigger. Somehow they do it every year, which
they
is
do.
crazy to be.
They do. This is the biggest match you could possibly book, except The Rock and Roman, which who knows if we'll ever get it at this point. But this is big. A triple threat between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk is also enormous. If you get if the favor or something like that comes into play and some massive story plays out between the three of them,
I mean, dude, that's huge no matter what.
It's huge.
It's no matter. No.
And Seth Rollins has been doing great work with this feud, by the way. I think like the focus is always going to be on Punk and what he can do on the mic, and Roman just being, a god and like having that aura. But Seth, man, he is not just the third man. He's not just the bronze medalist. I think those are three equals, each bringing something unique to this feud and to the table. And Seth might be carrying it, quite honestly.
Seth, he probably is. And by the way, he'll carry a lot of the match too. Let's be clear about that. I mean, I'm not saying, Punk can still have a great match, but he is limited in what he's going to do. Roman will be great as well, too. He's got a lot in the tank right now. He's physically rested. But honestly, regardless of what they do about that match, Cena Cody is the get your celebrities to watch match.
Mm-hmm.
This is the every wrestling fan's favorite match.
Mm-hmm.
Punk Roman Seth. That is the wrestling fans match of the week.
Huge match.
And something I'll say about Seth too, like an underrated thing that I didn't notice until recently, is when he comes out, I know all the focus is always on what's he going to wear this week and the crazy outfits and different colors that he puts together. When he comes out, his Tron, the colorway on the Titantron is changed to match his fit almost every time.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Which is an insane detail. And I think that it's fire that they go that deep into it with the presentation of his look every week.
Do we know right now? I know we got to wrap here. Do we know where Logan ends up?
AJ
Styles.
Oh, it's AJ. It's AJ.
Which is surprisingly kind of small time. They're making it sort of just like maybe open the show type of thing, which is cool. I don't know. Whatever.
Listen, it's well, there's two things.
They could steal it. You're right, by the way.
They could steal it. They could have the best match on the show. I see what you're saying.
I bet you that's what they're going for, to be honest.
In terms of Logan's name, I see what you're saying. It's definitely not like the biggest name, but also he decided he's a full-timer now, and he's having a real proper WrestleMania match against a full-time wrestler. Like, this is what he should do, and they'll have an awesome match.
Fair enough.
Would I have preferred to get there without it being AJ defending Andrew Schultz? Probably, but here we are.
Shout out to Netflix for letting me know that his comedy special was there too. I went and gave it a thumbs down and went about my day.
We said shout out to
I do appreciate about the cameo.
No, that's nice.
I
nice. To let you know, major thumbs down, keep it moving.
I wish we had a Wyatt Six story. I know that Bo's been hurt or whatever, but I wish we had.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I wish we had a Wyatt Six story going into this Mania. I love Wyatt Six.
I am worried about that thing ever fully getting off the ground.
I love it. I'm into it. I hope it works.
I know.
I hope Alexa Bliss joins. I hope they do the whole thing. We love Macabre. We love the Macabre story.
we love Macabre. It's very important, but they're a ways away.
Speaking of factions, I gotta say, I'm also have been enjoying this American-made Chad Gable luchador thing that they've been doing. I do believe it's him under the mask every time they hit the ring. I'm so curious to see who the double was if we ever get that reveal. But I've liked what they've done with Chad Gable going to Mexico, getting his luchador skills up.
You think that's funny?
By the way,
you like that stuff?
I think that's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's not bad.
By the way, two things to mention. One, Emilio just sent me this. I didn't know about this. You knew about this?
No, I don't know.
Tony Hinchcliffe is doing a roast of WrestleMania.
Is it official?
On Sunday, April 20th at 10 p.m., joined by surprise comics, Sami Zayn, The Miz, Braun Strowman, Paul Heyman, and more. At the Fountain Blue. That's something.
After WrestleMania.
After WrestleMania.
It'll never
Sunday
start
night.
at 10. I mean...
No, it'll never start at 10. No. It'll be on at midnight. Man, wrestling is so hot right now. People are so desperate to be near it. It's so crazy. And lastly, I alluded to it earlier. If you haven't made time to go back and watch, there was a lot of fun stuff on AEW the last couple of weeks between the pay-per-view, which we didn't get to talk about because we weren't on last week. But last week's promo, getting to see MJF and MVP and whatever they're about to build there.
It was fire.
I mean, SGG, if we can't get you for one segment every couple of weeks now, I guess it just means you will never turn on the show. But watching MVP and MJF walk out together, that moment where they look at each other and he goes, MVP, MJF, and they like stare at each other awkwardly and then break into the big heelish hug together. Like, it was just... It's a beautiful thing to see.
Did it remind you of your wedding? Didn't they sit right next to each other at your wedding?
It did. It reminded me of the wedding. There's a lot. It reminded me of the wedding. It reminded me of MLW.
I would love them to mention the wedding on the.
Can you imagine?
By the way, I feel like that could happen.
Me too.
I have a picture that I was going to post on Max's birthday that says this hits different now, with the picture of them sitting together at the wedding. But no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But no, it was an entertaining.
Yeah.
And by the way, this Bane chick that Zach Linder is going crazy for. Where did she come from?
Megan Bain, right?
She's ROH.
Not sure.
Not sure.
She showed up and is running roughshod over everyone. And I will say, if you have not watched it yet and you like old school blood that makes you feel like you're watching a match from, a Crockett match from 1984,
yes, please.
Go watch the Tony Storm Mariah May match. That thing was gory up a storm.
It was mage. I was there. Lastly, I was sent. Peckerhead sent me a post that Gallows and Anderson's first match post their WWE career is against the Powers of Pain in West Virginia. So if you're in West Virginia, you're lucky.
Dip, make a trip.
Will you be in West Virginia?
I could go to West Virginia. I could go. I mean, I think that's pretty mage. Can I say one more thing?
You should be managing Powers of Pain in this
I don't
match.
know why I'm not.
What are we doing?
I gotta tell you, the custom toy market these days. Okay.
Oh boy, that's a random left turn.
I didn't see that coming at all.
It has become so insane. Are you guys getting posts about? Do people send you like the custom toys and all these toys?
No.
Oh my god! I mean, there are these custom toys that are happening right now. It's next level. Did you
get the information I asked you? You were supposed to look into something for me about a custom toy, the custom toy that I was trying to get done.
Oh yeah, there's only one guy.
There is a guy though.
Yeah, there's two.
How expensive do you think it is?
$250. 200.
That's it. To get a solid custom toy.
Yeah.
What style would they do it? Would they do like an LJN, or is it like
LJN?
Can you choose the style?
LJN style. Wow.
It's got to be LJN. Yeah.
People are burning rubber. Edge. All right.
I don't know how they get it to they look like LJNs. These custom LJNs they're using old LJNs, but are they also creating new ones? I don't know how. What are they? They're like chemists. These people.
Well, so you're saying if I were to get a Natalie figure made, she would essentially be made from Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah,
that's not the worst.
Not the worst.
She's not going to be made by George the Animal Steel. That I can say.
That would be
she's
mine.
a beautiful woman.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, really big shout out to all of our listeners. We love you so much. We are working out what live events we'll be doing WrestleMania weekend. But as you know, if you follow at Wrestling for Sale, we will be popping up at his big pop up. So you want to make sure you come through to that. What day is that, SUG? Is that Thursday or Friday?
That's Friday.
That's the Friday afternoon. So follow along at Wrestling for Sale and come hang with us there. But we'll let you know all the things going on.
What body type do you think? What LJN body type do you think I would be?
Fuji.
Fuji's
not bad.
No.
Is there a Danny Davis?
No. No, you think like I would be referee? I would be blue shirt referee or white shirt referee.
Because I was thinking Vince is too tall. Can't go Vince, unfortunately.
No. Do you think Billy Jack? You think I'd be Billy
definitely. Hey,
but
definitely.
He was I wouldn't say he had a schlumpy LJN, but he had he was skinny fat.
No, but he still was too. He still had like big shoulders and stuff. I'm sorry.
Maybe Nikolai.
Yeah. Or maybe Lou Albano.
Lou Albano, motherfucker.
I'm trying to find the best dip. What are you closer to, Billy Jack or Lou Albano?
I think I'm right in the middle. I think I'm white shirt or blue shirt referee.
I think you probably
referee. Yeah.
All right, everyone. If you want another episode, we will be on Patreon later this week. We appreciate you. Stay mage.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, stay mage for sure.